Well, hello, welcome to another video. My name is Stephen, this is Pamela.
Hello!
We are Cold Blooded Sports. Cold Blooded Sports is an ice hockey store in Paisley in Scotland, and we basically fix things, sell things, and we vlog our day-to-day life for you guys, so you guys can see what we do while we're on the store, when we're in the store, when we're out the store. So today is Friday 25th of July, it is 21 minutes past 12 at the moment. Pamela is now 44. It was her birthday yesterday. How did your birthday go?
It was lovely.
Did you like your card?
Yes, it couldn't be any smaller.
What was on it?
My age is letters this size.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that she's now technically 4 years older than me for 1 week.
Just over a week.
Like I'm 40 right now. Pamela's 44, so she classes herself as a turkey vulture, which is worse than a cougar. But anyway, right, so we're going to go and get ourselves set up. I've got some interesting things to show you today. I've got some carbon fibre sleeve, which is going to be here for the goalie stick. Now, I'm not 100% sure if it's going to fit. It is actually smaller than I thought it was going to be, but I will show you in due course. One other thing I'm going to show today is obviously we are talking about bringing back our clothing, and this is one of the things that we're considering bringing back. Pamela is wearing her rain jacket, which is sponsored by Hector.
We need it today.
Yeah,
it's
we need it today because it's very miserable. But this also is a very light jacket, and it has a place for a fleece to go on the inside of it. And I actually have an old throwback on. I have one of the soft shell jackets with my name and my number on the back of it. And if you hold that a wee second, you can see the old logo is on the back of it.
That's the old logo.
But at the same point, we are now thinking of bringing back things like jackets, rain jackets, because obviously it's one of these situations where Scotland is very rainy. It also helps with regards to going and playing golf and stuff like that. So like this jacket was absolutely perfect for me when I went to go and play golf. Pamela has now stolen it. She has stolen it, like all of my, like everything in my life. She stole everything. She stole absolutely everything. I have nothing left. I am Ian Beale. If you know that reference, then you know that reference. That's an EastEnders reference. But anyway, apparently I was on the bus the other day and someone called me Max Brannan. If you watch EastEnders, apparently I look like his stunt double or something like that.
And my mum, when you said that, you said somebody called me Max Brannan, she absolutely doubled door laughing and went, so he does!
Yeah, so apparently that. And then apparently Big Jason, if you're watching, Jason, you think I look like the front man from Eurasia. Sorry, that's what it is, Eurasia. But anyway, right, I'm going to go and get myself set up and I'll show you this carbon fibre stuff. So our carbon fibre sleeve finally showed up. Now I say finally showed up, I actually ordered it and it says it was going to be the 1st of August, which is how many days away? It's probably 6 or 7 days away. I actually ordered quite a lot of it. So this bag of stuff that I got, this is what it looks like. And you're thinking to yourself, Stephen, how is that going to fit over a goalie stick? How is it even going to fit over a player stick? Now I can't show you this while I'm holding this. So I will go off camera and do it and see if I can get it to adhere to the stick or go over the stick. But if you look at the difference, this is a blade, this is a carbon fibre sleeve, or sock as it was called, and that's going to basically go over the blade of this. Obviously this is the next repair that I've got to do, but I'll need to get the goalie one finished first. Now you're looking at it and going like to yourself, how the hell is that going to fit? So as we can see how wide it is, it may stretch. So one of the things I'm going to have to do is try and see if I can get it on the stick. So I'm going to have to try and come up with an ingenious plan of trying to get this over the stick in some way, shape or form. It might be too small or too narrow for the goalie stick, but it will work for the hockey blade, or it should work for the hockey blade. And the reason why, or the player stick I mean, the reason why I say it should work is it actually covers one of my sticks at home, which I'm going to now have to reinforce because of people at the Urban Flyers who like to slash and stuff like that, and it's the last stick I've got, so I would rather break it over someone than have someone break it by slashing. That's just me sarcastic note there. So anyway, one of the other repairs I've got today is I have my cage in, and you can see the chin cup has finally came off. The Kevlar material that is on the chin cup has came loose and burst, so I am going to have to try and fabricate something to be able to get that to work and keep going, because obviously I like the cage and I don't like the fact that in recreational hockey people skate about with their sticks up very, very high. I've nearly lost my eye twice already. I've nearly lost this eye twice and I've nearly lost this one before. This one both by getting hit with pucks, and this one nearly getting taken out with a stick. by someone skating, doing the pitchforking motion. So I'm going to see if I can get this fixed today. So if I really want to be sarcastic, I have used a chin strap and I've actually sewn back on to the chin strap the Bauer logo so it can sit in the middle of the chin cup. So I'm just about to get this sorted, get it cut to size and get it fitted onto the cage. So it wouldn't be cold-blooded sports without having a bit of a catastrophe. So it looks as if the carbon fibre sleeve is not going to fit on the goalie stick, unfortunately. It is fitting onto the stick here, but we have a couple of raggedy edges on the stick where there's been skates have hit off this part of the blade or this part of the blade. So what I'm going to have to do is sand all of that back and try and take that down a little bit. The reason being is it should then realistically allow for the carbon fibre sock to go over the top of that blade. Now, obviously I've cut this part here and this part here will expand, but it won't expand enough. So what I'm going to use this for is I'm actually going to cut this up and I'm going to paste that into the actual stick while Pamela is throwing everything about in the front of the shop. So the plan is to try and backfill all of this channel here and try and see if we can get it filled up as much as possible so nothing goes to waste. So we're going to use this part here. We've got plenty of stuff still here. There's another 4 bags of this stuff coming as well, or 3 bags of this stuff coming. So what I'll do is I'll basically get this all chopped up, get some resin mixed up and then try and see if we can force some of that in. I have got a blade in one of the drawers that's the same shape as this blade, so we'll wrap some cellophane wrap around it. Then what we'll do is we'll do some leg tape over the top of it and then clamp it to the blade so that it makes sure it's still the same curve and the curve isn't off. Like I said, there is going to have to be some adjustment made to the top and the bottom, or the top part and the bottom part of the blade. There's a couple of nicks that are holding it from sliding on properly, but then again you'll probably find it will slide on a lot easier once it's wetted out with the resin. So what we'll do is as well, we'll try and see if we can get this sanded back a little bit, front and back, try and take that kind of tacky, that kind of shark fin kind of finish off of the blade, and then obviously get this part repaired as well because there's a little crack in that part there. So we'll see if we can get that sanded back and see if we can get a piece of carbon fibre put over that as well. Right, here goes. We'll see if we can get it done. This is all on the basis that we actually have time, because every time I have tried to do anything today, the door has opened and we've had customers come in. It's not a bad complaint, but it is now 1:43 and I am no further forward in anything that I've set out to do today. Right, so the Twitch repair is underway, as we've already seen. So we have now got it clamped in place. It's very difficult to do this one-handed with holding the stick and trying to record. Carbon fiber's been put into the channel with some resin, and obviously if you watched the time lapse you would have seen that I was having to try and force some of the carbon fiber chop into the channel that I had made. Now the carbon fiber sock didn't really work as good as I thought it was going to be. It was very rough, whereas the other stuff that I had was very smooth, but it did do a job. It is going to obviously hopefully fill that up and it'll now need to get left 24 hours, obviously, to see how that's going to set. There is a little part of the blade which is going to have to be built up with carbon fibre. Like, it'll all need to be sanded back anyway, and then I'll have to basically try and build it up because there is a part of the blade that's missing. But when I sand everything back, hopefully that'll then only take a little part to basically fill. So that's the plan, and then I'm going to try and make sure I can get this over here. I managed to get it over it off camera. Time was getting on and I wanted to make sure that it was all properly done and filled because I didn't think I was going to get much time today. It's been a day of interruptions, and that's not me being disrespectful to any of the customers that have came in. It's just any time you've got an important job that you want to do, you're having to stop what you're doing and do it. So luckily I had a little bit of time there where I wasn't interrupted, and I managed to get that channel filled with carbon fibre chop and epoxy resin. So fingers crossed that that's going to be hard enough, or it's going to set the way that I want it to set, so it fills all the cracks and crevices and basically re-adheres the stick together, if you know what I mean. So the next plan I have is, obviously, once that's set, I'll sand it all back and then I'll put some carbon fibre over it as well. So I'll wrap some carbon fibre sheet, which is this stuff here, over the broken area, reinforcing it, and then hopefully I'll sand a little bit of that back, and then after I sand a little bit of that back, hopefully I'll be able to get your carbon fibre sleeve over the top of the blade. Once I get the carbon fibre sleeve over the blade, it's literally just a case of pulling it as tight as possible and then resining it and making sure that there's enough resin that is saturated. Wrap it up in cling film again, or see if you can use a vacuum bag. I'm not 100% sure if we'll be able to use a vacuum bag on that, but it's something I'm going to look into. And then after we do that, it will literally just be a case of trying to let it set. Then we'll sand it back and then we'll put a clear coat over the top of it. Hopefully then that will mean that the blade will last a little bit longer. We'll see. If it lasts one shot, then hey, at least it's got one more shot out of it. So what I'm trying to do now is basically have a brainstorm and see if I can figure out a way to finish off the goalie stick. Now, I was actually thinking of using the carbon fibre sleeve and cutting it and then wrapping it round, but then I also think I'm not going to do that. I think I'm actually just going to use the initial carbon fibre that I've got up here, and then we'll just make sure that we can try and get it as smoothed off as possible. So we might have to do a little bit of sanding in this video. I won't bore you with that, but I will come back to you guys in a little while. So Pamela, what did you get? What new toy did you get today?
Card machine.
Did you get a new card machine? Who is it that deals with that one?
Same people that does till.
Right, okay.
Now.
So it's all connected up now. So when you go DDDDD in the till, it automatically comes through onto the card. Yep.
And then it automatically all saves in the back office, which makes the accounts even easier because it's all downloadable. I don't need to scan, I don't need to copy. I can just dump it onto the Xero, the accounting software. It makes it a lot easier.
So what's happening with the old card machine?
I have asked to cancel the account. And
Pamela, I'm over here. This is where you're talking. This connection, this part here. Connect with your audience.
Cancel the account, so it will eventually stop working.
Right, okay.
So the accounts will be closed.
So what happens? Something that you haven't showed me how to do. What happens if someone asks to pay by card and cash? How do you do that?
Still do the same thing. So we've got sharpening, and they say, "I want to give you £4 in cash." Put your £4. No.
That's 400.
£4. Press the cash button, and then it'll come up and say you've still got £4.50 to pay. Press the card button and it'll send the £4.50 there.
Oh, okay. Thanks. See, this is me getting staff training. So when Pamela gets when Pamela gets new toys like the till and stuff like that, I don't get shown how to do it because I'm the guy that's in the back doing all the repairs and sharpenings and stuff like that. So I'm not allowed to touch the till because apparently I make a mess of that, and I'm not allowed to do orders either because apparently I'll overstock the shop. Anyway, right, I need to go and make a phone call. I've got a customer I need to call about a stick. So look, a wee kind of funny story here, that we had a customer bring us in a present. They'd obviously bought something online and they'd bought something from a store in Germany. So when they bought the items from the store in Germany, what did they get, Pamela?
Apparently they got a new Warrior catalogue.
So like the German companies are giving out like Warrior catalogues, and Pam's like, oh, that's going to be really good that we've got a Warrior catalogue because we don't usually get given Warrior catalogues from the UK suppliers.
Speak German though.
the whole catalogue's in German. That's like literally It's just good for looking at the pictures, I suppose.
The guy says, maybe you could use it. Like, that'd be really handy. And then he went away and I looked at it and I was like, no, it's in German. Doesn't really show pictures, just can't read it.
Yeah. So we're going to have to use Google Translate on that, I think.
Aye, so we will.
So one of the other jobs I said I had to do today, and I never managed to get it on camera, was trying to get the chin cup to sit back on the cage. So as we can see, I managed to sew back on the Bauer name, or the Bauer logo, back onto the original chin strap. Not the original chin strap, the chin strap that I had that was the donor one. And then obviously I have copper riveted it in place. Now, to be able to get the copper rivets to go through, I had to use a punch tool to basically cut a hole in it's like ballistic nylon, so the strapping. So I basically did 2 little holes and then obviously got it as tight as possible. It is a little bit off centre, that's just because the second one I never really tightened it up as much. So yeah, that's the cage now fully functional again, so that will be back on my helmet tonight when I get home. So it's 6:24, that is basically us finished for tonight. Pamela left just after 5 o'clock tonight. I had a customer come in to see me and spend a wee bit of time talking over some skates and stuff like that. So that is me finished for tonight. I'll pick you guys up again tomorrow. We'll have a wee look at this stick and see if it's set, and then if it's not very busy, I'll try and see if I can get some sanding done on the Warrior stick. The Warrior goalie stick, that is. I've had a kind of little idea, which I'm actually thinking that what I want to do with the Warrior stick is take the logo off it completely, take the sticker off it and sand it back to just like a polished carbon effect. But I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do that. This obviously still has to get sanded back. I never had any time today to do much of that. I was pretty busy with regards to sharpenings. Again, it's through the off season, it can be hit and miss. So we'll leave this another 24 hours, or we'll leave this another 12 hours to set. We'll then have a look at the blade and assess the damage and see what we have to do. Might be quite a lot of sanding needing done on this one, but we'll check this tomorrow. We've got it clamped up against another blade to retain the shape of the blade. We've also got the cellophane wrap on it. We've got the leg tape on it just to try and hold it and compress it as much as possible. We've also got the clamps holding it and compressing it as much as possible. So we'll see how that goes, if the blade is going to be sturdy enough to be able to get the second coat of carbon fibre. Now the second coat of carbon fibre is probably going to be, what I'm thinking of doing is basically sanding the stick back a little bit off the top and the bottom of the area of the stick to allow me to get that carbon fibre sock or sleeve over the top of it. If I can get that over, it will still keep the same, it should realistically keep the same height and the same shape everywhere else. I'm just going to make sure that I'm reinforcing everything as I go. But that's the plan for that tomorrow, if I get time. If I don't get time for doing that, I'm sure there'll be other things in that I'll be able to show you guys. But for just now, guys, that is us finished. I'll pick you guys up tomorrow, bright and early, 12:30. So it's 12:46 on Saturday the 26th of July. Pamela is here with me.
Hello, good morning.
She's going to record something for me. She's going to do our camera moving. Well, I decided to take first order of business after a sharpening that we've already had to do. I'm going to take the clamps off it and see how phase 1 of the repair has went. So we're going to have a wee look and see how it looks. It's going to be pretty rough, I think, and with regards to it being pretty rough, there's going to be a lot of sanding involved in this one again, because I'm still not really that adept to the whole carbon fibre repair stuff. So we're going to try and see how we go. This is going to be painstaking. So far, so good. The blade, as you've seen it before, it was broken.
Completely snapped.
It was completely snapped and it was basically flapping about. So what's happened is there's been a channel that's been cut out all the way up to here, and it's been backfilled with carbon fibre and resin. So what I'm going to do is, I'll see if I can, I'll try the tape tiger today, see if the tape tiger works. There we go. So tape tiger has taken the tape off, which is good. The cellophane wrap is still on it as well. It's obviously going to look pretty rough because the cellophane wasn't flattened down properly. It's just phase 1. So because it's phase 1, right, so as you can see, there's still a bit of a chunk missing here, but that was gone all the way down, all the way up to here. It's all been backfilled. And like I say, I'm really squeezing on that blade to try and see if I can get it to move, and it's not moving at all. So phase 2 is going to be sand all of this back, and then we're going to put the carbon fibre sleeve over the top of it. So I was hoping to get a chance to start on the Twitch stick today and try and see if I could get some more carbon fibre work done, but obviously I've got to sand all of this back and I've got to fill in this little bit here as well, which shouldn't take that long to do, but that's going to have to go on the back burner at the moment because I now have another carbon fibre repair. Unfortunately, again, this is another true skate, and we can see that there is a crack that has appeared from here to here, and the skate is actually flexing. There's actually a crack that runs just here as well. I think that's just a superficial surface crack, but this one is a major crack. So because we've got a major crack, what we're going to have to do with this one is we're going to have to drill a little hole here to stop the crack from going any further. We're also going to have to try and see if we can sand away all of this stuff. We're going to have to try and see if we can get underneath the hazardous material here. So that's going to basically mean that I'm going to have to get a Stanley knife in underneath here, take all of that away, lift it up and have a look and see how bad it is underneath here. I can actually see it. I don't know if it's just the way that the skate's been made, but there is a divot just where the S is. So I'm going to have a look at that and see what I can do if I can get underneath that to try and stop where the crack is, because if the crack comes from all the way up here, there's nothing really much I can do other than just fix this part. If the crack is maybe only up to this part, I can drill a little hole and I can fill out a little channel, backfill it with carbon fibre, again like a forged carbon fibre repair, and then what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take the holder off of this as well and then wrap this whole area after sanding it in new carbon fibre, and hopefully just pray to the skate gods that this one's going to work. The other one that we had previously was in a different area. Well, actually, it was probably exactly the same area as this one, believe it or not. But the one that we had previously was a little bit worse. But this one seems to be... It's not the worst that I've seen, but at the same point, for the fact that it's cracked all the way through, and I don't know how high up it goes, we're going to have to do a little bit of exploring. So I'll try and get a little bit of work done on this, and then I'll tie in with you guys soon. Right, so what I've actually done here is I've got a Stanley knife underneath this part of the boot here. It's very, very hard to see. Pamela should really come through and give me a hand and shine a light on it or of some description, but apparently she's too busy because Tim Hawkins has arrived. So because of that, it means that she's not willing to help. Oh, there she's here. Oh, she must have heard me. I must have been really, really loud there. Thanks. Right, put the light on it. So as we can see, it's not went underneath any further. So it basically goes to just this part here. So that's a little hole that's going to have to get drilled there, and a little hole that's having to be drilled there, and then I have to sand all of this back and reapply some new carbon. So let's go get that done now. So now I feel a little bit more human that I've eaten lunch or breakfast or whatever you want to call it. I am now just about to start the skate repair. So like I say, I'm going to try and drill a little wee hole here and just here and sand this all back a little bit just to see how bad this actually is. It's going to take quite a bit of sanding, I think, because I think it's quite a thick layer of resin, and I want to try and get back to the carbon so I can actually build it up a little bit more. Especially with this part here, I'm worried about that part, but I'll do the sanding to start with just to see what I'm working with. Then I can take the holder off once I'm ready to do the final repairs. So I'm just getting back onto the repair after dealing with Mark. Mark had came in to pick up his new skates. Obviously Mark is the referee that was talking about who had the turbo up his butt since he had the new hip replacement. It was good to see Mark, and good luck with his new skates and his replacement. I think he'll be absolutely flying on these new skates. There's a joke in there somewhere since he's an urban flyer, but anyway. Right, I've had a wee look at these skates, and I've had a wee look and I've been scaling back the area which is broken, so it's obviously cracked. The crack has started up here and went all the way down to here. But what I'm now finding is this whole section of the skate, as you can see, which is cracking, there's an air bubble. So it's been in the production process that whole part of the skate, just this little corner, has probably been hit with a puck, and it's fractured and broke all the way up to here. So what I'm now going to have to do is try and cut away some of this and try and see if I can make a little space for some carbon fibre filler. So I'm going to try and see if I can make that slightly wider, get a little bit more carbon fibre chop made up. Then once the carbon fibre chop is made up, we will see if we can get that infilled, and then we can start the layering process. But as you can see, the skate is solid up here. It's just this bit here, you can see how much it's just broken away. So let's go get it fixed. 18 minutes past 5, that's us done for today. There's a lot of stuff that's happened off camera today that I've not been able to get the chance to actually record, because there's been, every time I set up to do stuff, customers are coming in. We had a visit from Mark, as I said, to come and pick up his new skates. We had a visit from the one and only Alan Craig, aka Toby. He was
AKA Grumpy Pants.
AKA Grumpy Pants. He takes after you, then he must buy them for the same place. We pair of frilly like Grumpy Nichols are. So anyway, the situation for this afternoon was I managed to do a little bit of work on the Bauer Twitch stick. I never managed to do any of the recording for that because it was pretty boring. It was pretty much just sanding it back. You can see that there's still a lot more sanding that's going to have to take place in this area here. There is going to be some high build up areas as well that has to get a little bit more work done on it, this part specifically. I'm going to have to try and take away all of the kind of funny finish on the blade. That's still to be done. The goalie stick never got touched today because I was totally thrown by the next part of the repair of the pair of true skates. As we can see here that there is now 4 layers of carbon fibre over the top of the problem area, and now it is basically setting. What I have to do is I have to leave this anywhere up to 12 hours, and then I'm going to have to tape everything off and sand it all away, and then do another coat over the top of it, and then do a finish. You can see it's very rough in this area here, and it's very rough in that area there, especially underneath, because there's going to be quite a bit of sanding that's going to have to happen with this one. Then once the sanding happens, and once we add in the extra layers of carbon, we will have to then do a gel coat finish on that as well. So that skate so far, the skate, when you pushed on it, you could hear it creaking and cracking. And then there was a piece that I had to cut out, which I showed you guys earlier on. So because of all of the parts, there was a channel that was cut out from probably about from here to here. And there was a hole that went in probably about the size of my finger, just this much. And it was all the way through to the inside of the padding. You could actually put your finger on where the hole is and push it, and you could see the padding moving through the actual crack in the skate. So again, I'm going to have to try and see if I can build that up a little bit more and make that more sturdy so the customer gets a lot of lifetime out of these skates. The reason why we're going to have to do all of this work on these skates is these skates actually belong to Liam, who is a CBS ambassador, and he's only had them for maybe about 2 to 3 months. According to Pam, we're going to have to do as much work on these as we can to try and build them up to make them last a little bit longer. We're going to have a wee look at the other ones as well, or the other skate. I think there is a little surface crack that's on them just there, which that can be sanded back and just resined. The outside of the skate is obviously scratched as well, so we can do a finishing coat on that as well. And there seems to be a chunk out of the heel on this one too. So these ones are going to take a wee bit longer than I thought. I did think the left skate was the worst out of the two of them. But looking at the right one, we're going to have to do some work on that as well, which means that our work might be cut out for us because these have to be back with the customer by Thursday. It is Saturday. We are apparently doing stuff in here tomorrow, painting and what.
Nah, I can't pick it up.
Oh, so apparently that's now been cancelled. Pamela doesn't tell me. I'm going to swear, she doesn't tell me all. Apparently we were meant to be doing work in here tomorrow, but that's now been cancelled because Pamela can't pick up the stuff for the job that we had to do because the saw's broken at the place where we bought the materials. So we can't have everything cut to spec the way that we would like it to be. We don't know what we're doing tomorrow, so I might have to come back in tomorrow and do a bit of work on these. Monday I'm in the bus job, Tuesday I'm back in here. I may have to try and come in as early as possible because these skates have to be ready for Wednesday night collection, or Thursday during the day drop off. I'll have to come to the store, pick them up and then drop them off with Liam because he's got a camp starting on Thursday night from what I hear, or is it next week? I don't know. I think he's just training on Thursday, so the skates need to be ready for Thursday at least. So I've got a couple of days, but it will take a couple of days for these to set. That is us finished for today. What have they got to do?
Like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to keep it cold-blooded.
See you later.